It's time for Bingo is Life. The podcast. I'm Jay Zare, joined here by the Howdy Shell brothers in their matching Bingo is Life t-shirts. Hey! Over on this side, to my right, going across the playing court, the one, the only, Dan Easley.
With sodium benzoate as a preservative.
Nice.
Yes.
Welcome back, Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah, just back from her big production over there at the Court Square Theater. Mum Shackles.
I'm here now. I'm here this week. I'm not calling in. It's for real.
It's like you're right here.
It's like I'm here.
We have a fantastic guest in the Silent Dave and Aaron chair. Mm-hmm. We've been trying to get this person on this show since
for 3 years.
For 3 years, oh.
I mean, or 1800, whatever.
Hey, two winners.
Years. We're starting the third year.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Did you get another $100 winner?
We did not get a $100 winner tonight. But I mean, it was so big. The last week's winner was so big that it's we're still feeling the glow of that one. Yeah,
Jordy. And she was here tonight.
Yeah,
and tonight was her 22nd birthday.
Happy birthday, Jordy.
And they came and saw us. Mm-hmm. All those bingo people came and saw us play at Clementine with the Dr. House show, and it was awesome. They all danced.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, and it was so cool. I was like, can we have Dr. Howe and bingo people at the same place?
Can it really work? Is there that kind of world?
Did they recognize you, though? Were they like... There's something familiar about these musicians. If only they took off their glasses.
What if you just...
If only they put on bingo shirts.
They'd be playing all the wrong chords if they took off their glasses.
Did you slip a few letters and numbers into the lyrics?
Yeah, just to get B13.
You know what I mean.
I'm going to book the Howdy Shell family band for a dance party.
Oh, good.
And but you got to play dance songs all the way through.
Hey, that'd be fun.
Challenge accepted.
No ballads allowed.
Well, you could play the ballads in the first set. Then in the second set,
that's
dance
what we
music.
tried to do. That's what we tried to
do. The locomotion, the Chattanooga.
That's what you were trying to do?
The Watusi.
So. Okay, all right.
Jay has opinions.
It was kind
of oh, that's what you were trying.
It was kind of a pop-up show, right? I mean, that was the idea because it was pretty
last
quick.
Minute.
It was last minute.
Those kids that won the money, they were talking about the podcast. We should listen. Well, what is it about? And I was like, well, it suddenly dawned on me. Probably nothing that would interest anyone of your age.
No, they're interesting people.
Yeah.
They really wanted. This is funny. They wanted a CD.
Yeah.
And I had some. I put one of my CDs in the box tonight as the prize. So I had some extra ones, and they were like, "We want one," and I was like, "Sure."
And then
kids still like CDs.
Yeah, no.
One of them said, "I have to go get an antique, so I can play this thing."
Yes,
a Walkman.
What is this CD thing you mentioned?
Compact.
Do I put my drink on it?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the story? There's this guy named Brian, and he used to walk around. He did not have a car. He never had a car, and he would walk everywhere.
Brian
Farrell.
Oh yeah, my buddy.
And so Brian told me years ago. He said, "I'm telling you, this is a long time. This is before the world is what it is today." He goes, "The CD is on its way out, and I know this because I'm starting to see them on the side of the road. I used to see." He said, "I used to see tapes, but now I see CDs because he walks everywhere." Yeah. And he's walking on 33. He's walking in places where there's no sidewalk.
He was probably just seeing thrown away AOL DVDs.
But ever since
America Online sent out millions of those things.
Okay, but he told me this back in like 2003. Okay, 2002, 2003.
All right.
And back in 2002, 2003, I was burning CDs. I was like, CDs collection. I'm gonna have the biggest and the best.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was like, there's no way, Brian Farrell. Yeah. These CDs are lasting forever, baby.
Yeah.
It's the compact.
But he saw the future, and he was right.
I'll tell you something about Brian Farrell.
Is it okay?
That was almost a threat. I'll tell you something about Brian Farrell.
If you saw me and him from 1983, you would say, that's Jay's hair. but you would not. You would say that's not Brian Farrell.
Really?
Yes, really.
Was he Brian Tame then?
I think it was the other. I think it was the other way around, as far as what the meaning of the words were.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know, all I find on the side of the road are single shoes, and it drives me nuts.
somewhere somebody's looking for that shoe. Where's my shoe?
How are there so many shoes on the side of the road with no matches? What happens? It's a mystery.
You're driving down the road. The hell with this shoe?
Right?
I need new shoes.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it.
But only this one.
Yeah. I don't understand.
You're probably really drunk when you throw away your shoe, so it takes you another couple miles to get the other one out the window.
Like the two shoes tied together by the shoestring, hanging over the power lines.
No,
I get it.
That makes sense.
That makes total sense because both shoes are there.
Right.
Yeah.
One shoe on the side of the road. A lot of them, like if you don't notice this, you will now. I hope,
Well,
and you
okay.
will be like, oh yeah, she was right.
Yeah. She seeks balance, parity.
New Balance.
And
What? Oh, hey. You know what time it is?
What?
Because I sure didn't. It's time for another unexpected notion with Dan Easley.
I'm Dan Easley.
That was another unexpected notion
Yeah,
with
there it
Dan
is.
Easley.
Wow. You had to listen really hard for that one.
Yeah, last week's.
Yeah.
It wasn't last week.
No, it was the one we recorded back in October.
It had me rolling. It was the funniest one I've heard yet. I just wanted
Which
to tell
one
you
was
that.
that?
And it was a couple
It
weeks
posted
ago.
2 weeks ago. I
Yeah,
think it
but
was.
I'll have to go back and listen. I don't remember any of these things.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our guest because this is too exciting. We have been saying thanks for listening, Grayson,
Thanks for listening,
years.
Grayson.
And now that it's season 3, this is officially the start of season 3. Grayson Pritchard is at the building.
Yeah! You finally made it here. Yes.
Thanks, Grayson is my neighbor. He's also the local martial arts can I say a leader?
Leader, yeah.
Somebody who's you tell us all about it, Grayson. What's going on, buddy?
Thanks.
That's comfortable. Do you feel welcome? Do you feel comfortable?
I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
It's very different live. I feel like
good.
there's so much to watch.
We're all
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
platform shoes. That's
And
one thing.
tapping.
Yeah. Well, and the makeup takes so long.
Yeah, I know. So, Grayson.
All you kids at home are missing out
Oh, yeah.
to see it.
The
live
baton
is pretty
twirlers,
awesome.
the ribbon spinners.
The hats. That's what I like. I think we all have great hats.
Yeah.
I know mine's nice. It's under my hair.
So,
This is
Grayson.
my hair.
I am your neighbor. You live on the same street as me. It's fantastic. I love you being our neighbor. We got together and had dinner last night. It was awesome. And we're going to
Can I ask, what did you have to eat?
Yes, you can.
All right, I did. Thank you.
Can I ask what you had to eat?
doll and paneer.
All right, it's not the most interesting of questions, but still.
Yeah, paneer. And it was all made by Sarah.
Homemade paneer.
okay. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
All right, so we've established you eat well. Good.
Yes.
He
See,
looks- he's
we're
like-
learning as we're going.
He's like the healthiest looking man in Harrisonburg.
It's true. There's got to be a secret, a
It's
reason.
the flow of the Chinese energy and the doll.
So let's skip over the flow of the doll and maybe talk about
That's DAL.
T-A.
Yeah, it was Indian food.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Indian.
Sarah's great.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have Sarah on the show, too.
Oh,
we
good.
decided. We're like, yeah.
Oh man,
Like, she's not showing up later tonight, is she? Like,
No.
I want that paneer recipe.
Does she want to be on this show?
Yeah. No, she has no desire.
Oh,
but I
she
told her
doesn't
she's
know
going
yet.
to be on there.
The whole theme of season 3 is
surprise!
yeah,
They're on a podcast. What?
non-consensual guests. Just everyone's been kidnapped. Yeah, no, it's not a great idea. It's very problematic.
Well, let's segue into the what you're doing at the Arboretum. That's what I was trying to do.
It's a heck of a
very good.
segue.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
Hold on, I see you're wearing a T-shirt.
Oh, wait a minute. We're so
I
close.
preempt you on the Arboretum thing because this will build context
Yeah,
and
that's
give
true.
some context.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, man. I see your T-shirt reads Blue Heron Healing Arts.
Healing arts.
So what? That's something you do. What do you do as part of that?
I teach and practice internal martial arts.
Okay.
It just sounds cool.
What's internal mean?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh gosh. It to me, it's more about internal cultivation and more personal development than, say, breaking boards and kicking ass.
Yeah.
That's good.
But you could do that too, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that mixed in.
Do you so like you're all healed and everything, but like do you break things?
No.
Okay, good.
Not
All right.
intentionally.
Oh, not intentionally. Okay, gotcha.
It's practice. Like
It's
we
practice.
train to learn how to break things, but the healing arts part of it is because we're simultaneously learning the other side of it.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
There's a medicine side and a martial side.
This is
That's
before
very cool.
Like two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
before everyone's time here, but there used to be a television show called Kung Fu. And it was internal martial arts for the first
Starring David Carradine.
for the first 55 minutes, and then in the last 5 minutes he'd just kick everybody's ass.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like martial arts mixed with a Western.
It was kind of like a Wild Wild West, Eastern mix.
Well, Carradine's character, Kwai Chang Caine, was banished from the Shaolin monastery that he had been at. And
he's reading this off of
So
Wikipedia. He's got his phone out.
No, it's
man.
that chip in his head.
So
It's a good show.
Over COVID, Grayson, we were all at home. We were all at home, and so Grayson was like, "Hey, I'm going to teach a class on Zoom." And me and Marianne and the kids took your class.
Oh, that's right.
For a short. What were you teaching in that class?
That was not a martial art. That was Qigong.
Qigong.
Which kind of translates as breath work or breath practice.
Yeah.
And some people liken it to yoga, Yeah. And the style that I practice most often and teach most regularly is similar to yoga in ways, in that it's very meditative, it's slow moving, it's super good for your joints and your tissues. It's very relaxing and de-stressing. But there's no combat.
Yeah.
It's not combative.
And the other stuff you teach does have some combat in it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
And you're doing this at the Arboretum.
Correct.
And
JMU knows you're doing this.
They asked me
Yeah, they
to.
asked-
It's
asked
so
you to.
cool.
When did they ask?
I've been doing it there for years.
Is that right?
I'm sorry,
Awesome.
I'm not answering your question, but
That's okay.
I wanted to say that they've had me there. I mean, it's 5 or 8 years now.
Right.
Just for little one-offs here and there.
Yeah.
But this was the first time they said, "Hey, can you do a series?" And more than just a couple weeks, but it's like ongoing. And,
That's cool.
So are these workshops that people can sign up for the whole time, or do people sign up, or do they just show up, or
Right, yeah.
how can we get involved with you, Grayson?
all those things. I should have the URL. But if you just look up JMU
we can put it in
Arboretum,
the
Yeah, I'll
notes.
put it in the notes.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the Edith J. Carrier Arboretum.
Yep.
And
Which is a fantastic spot. If you've never been, you need to go visit it. It's a hidden jewel in Harrisonburg.
it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's
it
beautiful.
really is. It's very cool.
Previously, all the classes that I taught there were outdoors, right there on the terrace,
Yeah.
surrounded by trees. It's beautiful. Sometimes down on the meadow, next to the
Near
pond.
the water. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
And it's so pleasant, right?
Yeah.
Nature, abundant nature around, birds singing, whatnot. But this is the first time that they've invited us indoors to the Plecker Center,
Okay, gotcha.
where there's enough space for 8 or 10 people to practice, and that's right around how many people usually show up. So
Is that right?
it's perfect.
And do you have any weapons that you are practicing with? Not weapons. I don't know what you would call it.
Chris
Staffs or
is
anything?
like, how can we make
What
you
equipment?
Yeah, what's the equipment? Or is it just like,
mats
Just bodies.
yeah.
and bodies?
How much time do we have?
I have
All the time
I have
in the
a
world.
brief anecdote. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
bring it.
trained with, in full disclosure, I've trained with Grayson off and on over the last 10 years.
Thanks, Dan.
And I remember, I had also trained in Kung Fu a little bit when I was 9 years old. And, in these sort of very commercialized kind of martial arts schools. We can put air quotes wherever you want throughout that. You'll get 3 months in, and congratulations, now you're a yellow belt. Parents, buy them a yellow belt. And then, you just go through this little sequence of events, which seems to cause, further and further expenses as they sell you more and more things, including weapons. I feel like I trained with Grayson for a few years, and then one day he handed me a stick and a rock.
And he said that'll be $300.
That's right.
Play ball.
And change your belt and your socks while you're at it.
I'm not even wearing those things.
No, and those were exceptional training aids. And I know hand-selected from a riverbed or a forest floor or something.
Yeah.
And so when you say, well, do you have weapons? I mean, hell yeah, man. I had a stick and a rock.
Cool.
But he knew how to use them.
Yeah.
Well, and initially there were training tools. It wasn't like, hey, it wasn't
the
like
rock
this
wasn't
is what,
actually.
this is what you learn to defend yourself. No, this is what you learn to train your body to move differently and to deal with physical force differently.
Huh.
A lot of what we get out of the classes, what I get out of training is unlearning bad habits or habits that are working against me as I get older, and learning new habits that make me feel better, basically.
And so everyone should know Grayson does everything. So he also does like massage work, or what do you call? I mean, what have you done to me? You've done. He said. Here's what he said. He said, "Let me work on you."
Yeah.
That's what he said. He's, "Let me work on you," because I was having some back problems.
Yeah,
And he was
right.
like, "Let me work on you."
Yeah.
And I sat down and he bow, and it was amazing. So what do you call that you're doing there? That's
a secret. That's
Yeah.
The broad term is body work,
body work.
and
body
more
work.
specifically, it's manual therapy or Chinese manual therapy.
Manual meaning with the hands. That's the
Correct.
classic
Right.
meaning
Yep.
of manual.
Thank you. And but we call it tuina, and that's the Chinese term, means push, grasp, and it's an old, very old method of therapeutic massage.
If you ever just let Grayson grab your shoulder, you'll be really thankful that he did. You'll be like, "He's doing it now!"
It's the opposite of the Vulcan
Yes.
neck pinch.
Yes.
That's what I'm going for.
It is amazing.
But that's the other side of the coin that you had mentioned.
Right.
That goes hand in hand with the martial arts. It's
Okay.
my teacher's teacher told him, this was the Master Su Hongqi from Taiwan, said, you can learn this kung fu from me, but if you only learn the martial part, you're half of a teacher. And if you want to be a 100% teacher, you learn the medicine alongside with the martial. And one benefits the other. The more adept you become at your anatomy skills and your ability to treat somebody on the table, the more progress you make in your martial, and vice versa. It's pretty cool.
You've studied acupuncture as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, I have a diploma of acupuncture from Zhengdao School of Classical Chinese Medicine. I'm not practicing currently, but that's in my future.
The class you're doing at the Arboretum is Qigong.
We do some Qigong, but that's not the name of the class. You know, like the warm-ups, there's a little bit of Qigong mixed in with it. Saturdays from 8 to 9 a.m. we're doing Tai Chi, and that's where we usually do the Qigong warm-up. And then Tuesday and Thursday evenings we're doing Bagua.
At the Arboretum.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's available anybody? I mean, like, is there a specific? Do you need to? How do you know that it's okay to be there?
All are welcome.
All are welcome.
Is-
No
So it's free?
registration, no pay, no money.
No, it's $15 a class.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's important.
All
Yeah,
are
thank
welcome.
you.
Who
If
bring
you-
the cash?
If you knew,
Or
You bring
registered, do you
$15, you
pay
get rock.
JMU? Is it registering through JMU's system?
It is through JMU.
Cool. So that's the link that we'll include
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah, I'll get that from you.
This is probably over. If you were just a person who knew very little about this and you saw someone doing Qigong in the park, you would maybe mistake it for Tai Chi. But actually, Tai Chi, though it looks similar, is a martial art.
Correct.
And Qigong is not.
Yeah. I think it's cool that a lot of folks, like, that's the first internal martial art that most Americans are familiar with is Tai Chi. You see these old ladies and old men in the park, and they're doing this slow flowing movement in the park, right? And it looks so graceful and peaceful. And what you don't know is that they're actually practicing tearing out pieces of esophaguses and pulling their guts out and stuff.
There have actually been there's people who have won bouts in serious martial art competition, starting from using Tai Chi. It was the same as any other. Not the same. It's an internal one, but. You help me out here.
I mean, it's just another reason not to talk to strangers in the park.
There you go.
They could be imagining ripping out your esophagus.
Can I take us in just a slightly different direction? When I found out that you were going to be here this evening, I was like, oh, I'm going to ask him about the very first time that I met him. Do you know where that would be? I remember the first time I met you, and the reason that I thought about it was like it just struck me as like, I don't know how you came to be here in Harrisonburg. So I would love to know a little bit of history. The first time I met you was over at Chris's house, and the Elizabeth Street house, and it was a little grill function.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I remember that was the first time I met.
Oh, cool.
I met you, and I just got thinking, I was like, well, how did you get here at Harrisonburg? And you got in with little grill people.
Indeed. I was in Japan for several years, and
he's got a very interesting story. You see,
we should let him tell it.
I know, right? Well, wait a minute. No, go ahead.
Here's a joke.
If only we had 5 more hosts.
So I had 2 3-year stints in Japan, kind of back to back, and when I left in 2008, I wanted to resettle in a familiar area. I had previous to Japan, I had been in Richmond for about a decade, and I didn't want to go back to Richmond, but my 2 younger siblings had both attended JMU, and my sister still lived here, and they had an open room in their house, so I stayed with my sister and her now husband.
Cool.
Yeah, and I intended to only stay for a year or so, and each consecutive year the place just grew on me, and I really...
We actually hear that a lot from people that visit here.
Insert joke about
Mold.
local industries. Never mind. I'll workshop that and come back.
Was there anything specific that kept you here? Like that you say you fell,
Well, I was married
at
first
gotcha.
when I was here, and we were kind of sticking around for each other.
Yeah.
And then that ended.
Yeah.
And I stuck around just to get my feet on the ground again.
Oh, good. This is a good place for that.
But it's safe to say that Qigong kept me around because, when you're kind of like losing your mind and not feeling grounded, I saw a little flyer at the bike shop downtown, and it said Qigong. I said, I've done that before. I'm going to check it out.
Right.
And the rest is history. I started learning.
Is there like that kind of community here? I'm not familiar at all.
Yeah, there.
Or you are that community now.
Well,
you help lead it.
I'm part of it. There are a number of different folks teaching similar material or related material.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been teaching now since 2010, and I've taught in like at first it's kind of a it's a challenge to find a place that doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, right.
And my participancy is so low or inconsistent that I often would end up spending more on rent than I would make, and that's not sustainable. So going to parks is awesome. For a long time, I was invited to teach at the OAP. What's the place?
OCP?
OCP. And I've taught in the basements of several local churches. And here and there at the Parks and Rec. I was at Westover for a long time, indoors and outdoors, and sometimes in my own house, my own backyard, Purcell Park especially lately, and like I said, JMU facilities.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But you are disciplined. I mean, you are. You do it every. There's always something going on, and you're like, I can't. I've got my class. I can't. I've got you. You're very good at carving out that time, and it's one of the hardest things for me to do is to carve out the time.
It's not me, Chris. It's the material. That's the thing. Is like when I started this, I was doing landscaping, and it was miserable work. I mean, it was nice to be outside, but it was just very...
It's hard on the body.
It was, it wore me out. And at the end of the day, a 10 to 12 hour day sometimes, the last thing I want to do is anything active. And I remember that first year with that company that I was working with, thinking, oh God, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm like, I gotta go do my class. And the class was already small, and I didn't want to let down my classmates, because if I don't show, there's nobody else to train with, whatever. But I would go because I knew that after the class I would feel multiple, like 10 times better than I did going into it, even though I was dead tired and exhausted. It's like the material is special. It's really fantastic what it does for your mind and your body. It just it kind of. So I'm not doing it because I'm disciplined. I'm doing it because I have to in order to feel okay in my body.
Right.
It really gives me.
I feel the same way about bingo. I know that. I mean, I work all day, and trust me, when I'm at home on a Tuesday evening, and Mariana has made like a pot of spaghetti, which she had this evening, and she was like, "Spaghetti's on, here we go." And I look at them like, I have to go to bingo. But then I get here.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, glad
but there is something to pushing yourself to do things,
I'm sure there's also an accountability thing too, right? Like, people are relying on you to be there.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the teaching for me is, knowing that there's folks, and I gotta show up, and not just show up, but bring the goods and teach the stuff.
So would you say it brings you clarity of mind?
Yeah, can't you tell by how
Well, when things are so clear, they just bounce around in there.
Echo.
Well, I was just thinking, here you have this, this true sense of clarity, and now this, I don't know, a clean being, and you still like this show. You've been a fan of the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's great. So
really
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to be here. I can't believe it. I still feel it's just a dream.
It's a dream that you get to listen to tomorrow morning and be like, what?
What? Oh.
And all 27 other people listening have a chance to be on this podcast.
That's
as well.
right. You too. No, the band U2 is who we're looking for. U2.
Bono, if you hear
Bono.
this, give us a call. We want you on the show next.
I don't want Bono on the show.
Bono, never mind.
Dan says, you're out.
You're out. That's cool.
Okay, so just a little recap. I just want to recap, though.
Yep.
Blue Heron, is that the name of your business? Or is that... Okay, so the Blue Heron, and you are doing all kinds of amazing stuff at the Arboretum, Tuesdays, Thursdays? And all this information is in a URL that we'll put
Yes, we can put that in the notes.
So, awesome. Thank you.
That's cool.
Can I give some shout outs?
Yeah, yeah, you have to.
Per the Arboretum, they've been awesome. They've done a heck of a job, like getting me in there, getting some really interesting guests at their venue, and they've really brought it to life this year. So Ivy at the Arboretum is killing it right now. She's kind of like the supervisor of all
she's
of
the planning
I
events.
love that there's a person named Ivy who has taken control of the Arboretum because you plan a little bit of Ivy. It's going to take control.
It's brilliant.
She's really living up to that name.
She's
Go
awesome.
Ivy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, and shout out to my three best students, Sarah, Penny, and Lyd.
Oh,
because they all train. They all train regularly now.
Oh, that's cool.
I never hoped for or expected that. But like we're in this pocket of time right now where the whole household is doing training together. It's
and you're
awesome.
all in shape. You're all everyone's like, wow, it's awesome. Yeah, good for you guys.
Thanks, man.
Super cool.
Just radiating health.
Yeah.
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 I feel better just sitting next to him.
Yeah.
You do feel pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, he touches the shoulder.
Yeah,
Your shoulder's
man.
gonna feel good tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. That's
You're
all
gonna be
there is
like,
to
how did this happen, Grayson?
it. Grayson. Yeah.
That's why I go on vacation with him.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Bye, high five.
Good.
Oh
Very
my God, it's so good. Now, well, Harrisonburg is a great city, and this is just another big plug for Harrisonburg.
Yeah, right.
It's a great place to land. I think it is. You can find there's niches here.
Yeah.
I think it's real. I mean, Dan's lived here all his life.
Yeah.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Since 10.
Yeah.
I think it was 10.
And Jay, you found your little world.
I was born here.
You never left.
I did leave. I was gone for a long time.
How many years?
We got to interview him later.
18 years I was gone.
18 years.
For what I left twice, for what it's worth.
Left
I
twice.
also left. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, both
came
of them
back.
left for the NBA.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I had 3 minutes of playing time with the Portland Trailblazers
Yeah,
in
great.
1979.
Really?
I have not
No,
played
I just
any
made that up.
basketball.
Yeah.
All right, we're done here, right? Thank you for.
I had a couple things I wanted to just
okay. Oh,
say.
sorry. Yes.
I wanted to follow up with a couple of things from some guests that we've had on the show previously. Just fun things.
Oh yeah. Bring
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our friend Jake moved to L.A.
Oh,
He's
Jake,
doing
yes.
fine.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
safe. And he's
Oh,
doing well
good.
in L.A.
Oh, good.
Good.
But yeah, he's safe. If anyone was concerned about Jake,
Oh yeah.
so far
He
so
didn't mark
good.
himself safe on Facebook, the bum.
That I don't have anything to say about that. But there are a lot of people jumping ship on Facebook right now. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Blue
and,
skies shining on me.
there might be more, but the other one that comes to mind that I wanted to follow up with was Brooke Ember. I got to check out the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah. Right.
It
Yeah.
was wonderful, and I really want to go back.
That's
Aw,
Thank you, Brooke.
Maybe we should do some sort of recap show where we just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Where are they
I
now?
mean, I don't know.
It's not a bad
We got
idea.
Who
We've
was
had
that?
some
Who
really
was
cool
that
people here.
server that used to be on our show 2 or 3 years ago?
The very first one.
When we were doing it with the iPhone, laying in the middle of the table.
It wasn't Abby, was it?
No, I can't remember
We just
what her name
interviewed
was.
one of the wait staff here.
One of the wait staff.
Well, she was going to the Taylor Swift
Yeah,
concert.
yeah. Taylor Swift.
yeah.
Yeah.
She got
Remember that
tickets.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a hot ticket.
It was a different era.
Thanks everybody.
All right,
Appreciate
Dan.
you guys.
Dan, you gonna take us out?
Nah, I'm done doing that.
Well, I got nothing. Or is the music playing? Are we hearing the music?
yeah. Yeah, I hear it right
Andre on bass. So that's going to wrap it up for episode 99.
99.
99 teardrops
99.
falling on our heads outside.
And
the
I
window.
will throw out
Question
there.
Marks and the Mysterians. Man, that was a good band.
Next week, or at least the plan is, I'm going to have a supplemental episode, not an actual episode, a supplemental episode, because Chris and I are going to Las Vegas next week.
The Robert
So-
Anton Wilson special next week.
There you
You
go.
can tune in for that.
Tell any difference between the hosts next week and us.
And I want to.
This might be our last podcast.
I also want to make sure we say thanks for listening, Grayson.
Thank you for
Yeah.
listening, Grayson.
Yes.
He's been here. He's been
I think he's
listening.
still listening.
Happy to listen. Happy to be here.
Yay. Appreciate it.
Sponsored as always by Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg. Come down here at 7:30 on Tuesdays for bingos. Not next week because they'll be in Las Vegas, getting crazy. But
They're doing
Tuesdays.
research on skill games and gambling, so that when they come back here, they can be better at
This
bingo.
whole trip is a tax write-off.
all right, 7:30 most Tuesdays. Bingo is life at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg. It's a great place to hang out with the family and everybody else. And you can catch us on the internets anytime you want. We'll see you next week, kids.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers How to Show and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.